Hello. Welcome back, movie lover. Today I am going to explain Spider-Man: No Way Home. Get started on our main explain. The movie starts from where the Far to Home movie ends. Before Mysterio's death, Peter Parker's identity is revealed to everyone that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. In fact, when the identity of superheroes is faded, there are many problems in their lives. And to avoid all these problems, Peter Parker is running away with Michelle Jones or MJ. He ran away from there and somehow reached his house. There we see Happy present. We see in Far From Home that there is a relationship between Aunt May and Happy, and now they have a breakup, but Peter sees ordinary people and reporters crowded in front of his apartment, while we see the reporter Jonah Jameson, who is saying bad things in the name of Spider-Man. After we see, Jameson says that he killed Mysterio, in addition to Peter attacking humans with the drones of the Stark Company. Due to which Peter was arrested by the police, and he asks him a lot of questions about why he killed Mysterio. But here he is helped by a lawyer named Matt Murdock. Hopefully those who have watched the Daredevil TV series will recognize it very well. Peter and Aunt May then go and take shelter in Happy's house, people knowing their identity. There are many problems in their lives. In addition, Peter's school friends have been divided into two groups. One group thinks that Peter is guilty and the other group thinks Peter is right. There is a huge problem. That's why they came to the police there and tried to stop the trouble. In the other, we see Peter, MJ and Ned sitting together talking, and here we learn that they are preparing to get admission to MIT. Letters have come for them from the MIT, but here there is nothing but frustration after opening the letter. They have been rejected from the MIT, because Peter Parker's admission has been rejected due to the trouble he is currently facing, and since MJ and Ned are friends of Peter, they have also been cancelled. Here Peter realizes that his friend's application has been cancelled for him, so he goes to Doctor Strange to do something. Then Parker visits the New York Sanctum and asks Doctor Strange to make the identity of Spider-Man a secret once more to get his friends into MIT. Despite being warned by Wong not to, Strange attempts to cast the spell with the runes of Cough Coal. However, Parker incessantly alters the spell when requesting various individuals close to him to be exempt from its effects. As a result, the spell becomes unstable, forcing Strange to contain it. For not consulting with college administrators before meeting with him, Strange furiously kicks Parker out of the sanctum. Contacting Flash Thompson, who was admitted to MIT, Parker is led to an administrator heading to the Alexander Hamilton Bridge in an attempt to appeal his, Jones and Leeds applications. In the meantime, Spider-Man 2's villain Dr. Octopus comes there. And there is a trouble between them. Dr. Octopus then captures Peter and takes some nanoparticles from the Spider-Man suit given by Iron Man, which was completely wrong, and through this nanoparticle he takes control of Dr. Octopus's tentacles. Then the Dr. Octopus is shocked, and he realizes that he is looking for Spider-Man. This is not him. Then they cut him off and left. On the other hand, as a result of their trouble, the MIT administrator there gets very bad there, and he is saved by Peter Parker, due to which the administrator has some influence on him and says that he will help them. After Green Goblin arrives and attempts to attack Spider-Man, but he and are transported into the Sanctum, where Strange imprisons Dr. Octopus and Amazing Spider-Man villain Lizard. He informs Parker that Dr. Octopus, Lizard, and Green Goblin are not of this universe, but from parallel realities within the multiverse, who were pulled into this reality by the failed spell since they know Spider-Man's identity. To contain this spell, Strange locks it in the Machina di Cadavis, a mystical containment unit. Next scene, Parker is recruited to help find and capture these visitors, receiving a magic-based upgrade to his suit. With assistance from Jones and Leeds, Spider-Man and his friends now sit down to search for the Green Goblin who attacked them a while ago. Spider-Man locates Electro outside the city. Startled, he attacks Spider-Man and gains the upper hand, but Sandman intervenes to shield the hero. The two work together to cut the power lines, which fully restores Electro's body. When he is sent to the Sanctum, Sandman believes Spider-Man killed him, but is also captured before he can retaliate. Elsewhere, Norman Osborn attempts to escape from his Green Goblin persona, breaking his mask before fleeing to a FEAST facility seeking refuge. Spider-Man locates Osborn to Aunt May house. Here he explains that he has a different self, who does these evil things with him. He does not do anything of his own free will. But I can understand that the man is telling the truth. Osborn, thanks to May and Spider-Man, brings him to the Sanctum as well. Osborn, Dr. Octopus, and Electro soon realize that they died and were resurrected by the spell, meaning that if they were to return home then they would perish. Strange explains to Spider-Man that these three are doomed to die fighting their own Spider-Men. He intends to use the Machina to reverse the spell and send them back to their fates for the sake of the greater multiverse. Convinced that they can be cured of their antagonistic natures and be spared from death, Spider-Man steals the Machina before Strange can use it and flees. Strange gives chase, takes Spider-Man's magic back, and sends him into the mirror dimension to retrieve the Machina, while also trying to implore him of the multiversal stakes relying on the visitors being sent back. Unfazed, Spider-Man entangles Strange in a web matrix and steals his sling ring before returning to the earthly plane. He passes the ring to Leeds and the Machina to Jones before releasing the prisoners from confinement. Taking them to Hogan's condominium, Spider-Man attempts to administer cures for the multiversal refugees. He starts with Dr. Octopus, using a Stark Industries fabricator to engineer a replacement inhibitor chip for his tentacles and restore his higher brain function. In addition, Electro has an energy siphon installed into him which is designed to extract his powers. Then Peter guessed that something bad was going to happen. Then he caught Osborn in his hand. In fact, he had a green goblin in him, who was controlling his brain. Here he takes Electro into his group by word of mouth, and here Electro takes an ACT reactor there, so that he becomes more efficient. Electro blasts Octavius out of the building. Lizard, Sandman, and Electro escape, while Green Goblin attacks Spider-Man, sending him to the ground floor. Running outside, May injects an antidote into Green Goblin, which doesn't work. Aunt May dies here, which is really sad. Grief-stricken, Spider-Man flees, his guilt worsening with Jameson's gaslighting coverage of the attack. Growing worrisome after Spider-Man's silence, Jones prepares to activate the Machina, but Leeds manages to open a portal with the sling ring by accident. Attempting to find Spider-Man, they see what seems to be their Spider-Man on the other side of the portal, calling him over. However, they soon realize that this Spider-Man is not theirs, but rather one from another universe that previously fought the Lizard and Electro. Leeds tries again, but summons yet another alternate Peter Parker, who previously fought Green Goblin, Octavius, and Sandman. The group finally manage to find their Spider-Man alone on top of Midtown and attempt to console him about May, but he is too distraught about his mistakes to even care. Before he can use the Machina to send the multiversal travelers home, the other two Parkers begin sharing their own personal experiences of loss and bitterness to help him cope and realize that he is not alone. The cheered-up Spider-Man then decides to do what he planned to do, heal the villains. The Parkers, Jones, and Leeds then retreat to a classroom laboratory in Midtown to create the cure for the villains. Osborn's Parker engineers an anti-serum for Green Goblin as Electro's Parker recreates the Lizard antidote to return him back to normal, while Spider-Man prepares the cures for Sandman and Electro. Afterwards, Leeds brings them to the Statue of Liberty via portal as he and Jones remain in the lab. Spider-Man calls into the Daily Bugle to broadcast a message, using the Machina as a lure while announcing his presence to Lizard, Electro, and Sandman. They arrive and attack the three Spider-Men on the scaffolding. The web-slingers are unable to coordinate effectively, which leads them to be easily overpowered by their enemies. Grouping up, Spider-Man assumes command of the trio due to his experience as part of the Avengers. The three adopt codenames, Spider-Man as Peter 1, Osborn's Spider-Man as Peter 2, and Electro's Spider-Man as Peter 3. They decide to engage and cure one enemy at a time, with Sandman first. After restraining Lizard, Peter 3 retrieves Sandman's cure and passes the device to Peter 1, who then delivers the cure to Peter 2, allowing Marco to be neutralized. The three Spider-Men attempt to take the arc reactor from Electro, but he proves to be too much a match for them due to his increased power from the energy source. Lizard breaks free and attacks Jones and Leeds in the lab, forcing Peter 1 to leave and fight him. With the help of Leeds and his sling ring, Peter 1 forces Lizard to break open a bottle containing the antidote which reverts him back to his human form, Kurt Connors. Leeds accidentally summons Strange to the battlefield who, upon seeing Connors, realizes Peter 1's pacifist plan is working. Strange grabs back the Machina and his sling ring from Leeds. Peter 2 and Peter 3 are overpowered by Electro, until Octavius arrives to extract the arc reactor himself and render him powerless with the finished neutralizer. Peter 3 reconciles with Dylan while Peter 2 warmly reunites with Octavius. Peter 1 returns to Strange as he prepares to use the Machina to send everyone home. Suddenly, Green Goblin ambushes the group and takes the Machina, but Octavius and Strange grab it back. Unbeknownst to them, Green Goblin had snuck a pumpkin bomb inside the object. It detonates and releases the unstable contained spell, tearing the fabric of the universe and opens it up to the multiverse. The blast also causes Jones to fall from the Statue of Liberty. Peter 1 dives to rescue her, but is knocked aside by Green Goblin. Peter 3 saves her, and begins to tear up as it reminded him of the night Gwen Stacy died. As dawn breaks, Peter 1 confronts Green Goblin alone. Ravaged with vengeance, he viciously beats him down and attempts to finish him off with his glider, but is stopped by Peter 2. This however leaves him open to get stabbed in the back by Green Goblin. Peter 3 provides Peter 1 with the anti-serum, allowing him to cure Osborn from Green Goblin. He notices Peter 2's injury, which is non-fatal, and realizes the extent of the damage he had caused. Strange struggles to hold the rifts in the universe together, in which intruders are already preparing to invade this reality. However, Peter 1 has him enact a new spell to make everyone forget who he is to fix it. Afterwards, Peter 1 embraces his alternate selves, who encourage him to continue on as Spider-Man. Strange repairs the rifts with the new spell and successfully transports Peter 2, Peter 3, Dylan, Octavius, Osborn, Marco and Connors back to their origin universes. Spider-Man embraces Leeds and Jones for a final time, while promising to return someday and help them remember him. He then departs as Strange unleashes the spell, leaving the entire world completely oblivious to Parker's existence. A few weeks later, it is now the holidays. Parker tries to reconnect with his MIT-bound friends, but after being reminded of Jones' wounds, he decides not to. Then he goes to MJ, where Peter Parker is not recognized by MJ, and from here their love will begin again. Then he goes to Aunt May's grave, where Happy was with him. In fact, the man has suffered a lot due to the death of Aunt May. Happy has forgotten here that Peter is the real Spider-Man, but his love for Aunt May has not diminished. Contending to carry on with his new life, Parker moves into a new apartment alone and begins studying to earn his GED. Alerted to criminal activity on his phone, he stitches together a simpler suit and resumes his heroics undisturbed as Spider-Man, honoring May's mantra of community service and responsibility. In the mid-credits scene, we see that Eddie Brock means Venom he has come through the portal in this universe, but when Dr. Stranger closes the portal again, he goes back to his original universe, unknowingly leaving a part of the symbiote on the counter. It may be the next Marvel movie or this story will go on with the plot. This movie ends here. If you like this video, please subscribe our channel. Thank you very much for watching this video.